So in the black community, there is a strange dichotomy when it comes to black conservatives. The black elites, the Afro-stocracy, who are in bed with the Democratic Party and the Marxist left, do not care for black conservatives and do not care for their message. And the reason why they don't care for their message is because these people are anti-family, they're anti-American, they're anti-capitalism, they're anti-quote-unquote patriarchy, they're anti-anything that would lead to human flourishing, because of Marxism and communism and socialism, which has infiltrated the black community primarily through the black church, is not for human flourishing. And when I say it's entered through the black church, I mean through black liberation theology, which is a strain from Marxism and critical race theory and all of those things. So it's funny, when I came across this particular article written in The Root, and for those of you who don't know, The Root is one of those black publications, right, that's geared towards a black audience that's supposed to be speaking for the culture, right? But they never talk about anything that truly uplifts black people. It's always speaking about the oppression of black people. So that goes to show you how they view black people. But it's funny. So if you look at this article, a list of the worst black conservatives ever. Now, if you look at the article here, it's funny. It says that though black people shouldn't be expected to all align politically, the existence of black conservatives has always been a perplexing one. Why is it perplexing that black people are conservative? Did you know, and most of these people don't know, that the original party that black people were a part of was the Republican Party, okay? That was the original party, not the Democratic Party. Especially now, as the Republican Party emboldens white nationalism unapologetically. Wow. And the Democratic Party emboldens black victimization unapologetically. Which one would you want? So it talks about how MAGA idealism, which includes white supremacy, xenophobia, control over women's bodies, capitalistic values, and a lack of morality. Despite this, certain black politicians and celebrities believe that it's in their best interest to not only embody conservative beliefs, but to push them onto the public as well. So here's a list of the worst black folks to ever do it. So I wonder, who is on this list? As you can see, Candace Owens is definitely going to be on that list. So let's see. Herschel Walker. Now I can see that. Herschel was not a good candidate, and Herschel really didn't embody conservative values. He was just a black face running for governor. He was a horrible candidate. So, okay, I can give him that, Herschel Walker. Tim Scott. Oh, let's see what to say about Senator Scott. Tim Scott is trying to convince the masses to make him the 2024 Republican presidential nominee, and have thrown black folks under the bus to try and achieve it? How did Tim Scott throw black people under the bus? Oh, because he said America isn't a racist country, and using his own professional success as evidence of this. And Scott has also said that welfare was worse for black folks than slavery was. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I will say welfare has been detrimental to the success of black people, and I will say that America is not a racist country. There are no racist countries. You have racist people that live in countries. There are no racist countries. There is no country. Well, there may be countries that have set up. Now, I would say there are countries that are more bent towards one particular ideology than the other, namely your theocratic countries, the Muslim countries. They can be racist based upon the thoughts that they may have towards certain ethnicities. But by and large, there are no racist countries, and especially America is not a racist country. If you look at the Declaration of Independence, if you look at our Constitution, while the people who wrote those were not perfect people, just like we're not perfect people, the tenets and the principles and the foundation of those documents, those long-lasting documents, was based upon the Word of God. And I know the Word of God is not a racist document. Oh, here's another reason he's a bad black conservative. He's pro-life. Oh man, we can't be representing life. You know, life is not good in the black community. We can't value life in the black community. And he wants to build a wall. Man, we gotta have these open borders. We gotta have all these illegals flood in and take all the jobs from black people. And he is against critical race theory. Oh, we can't have this black man up here talking about we're not oppressed. They're oppressors. We're oppressed. We are oppressed. We gotta fight for liberation. We gotta fight we are the resistance. Come on, man. Let's see what we talk about next. Oh, the late Herman Cain. Oh, they don't like him because he said that Planned Parenthood promoted genocide by offering abortion service, which it does, to poor people. And that poor people are poor because they want to be, and deem racism in the 21st century irrelevant. It is irrelevant, but you choose to make it relevant because you don't want to get out and do something with your life. Let's see what they says next. Let's see what they said about Candace Owens. They probably got... Candace Owens has proudly made a career out of caping for racist white folks for years. The right-wing commentator hosts a podcast for the Daily Wire and has stated that the Black Lives Matter movement promoted black anarchy and labeled it a scam, which it was. Said George Floyd died from a drug overdose and is an avid Trump supporter. Owens is also she's anti-vax. That's another thing. If you're anti-vax, man, you are not welcome in the black community. You gotta be for that vaccine, even though we don't know what's in there, even though it's experimental. Black folks gotta take it. Make sure you put your mask on too. Has attract trans folks and said Hitler was decent at first. That's all you need to know. Man, these are some weak arguments they're making. But I knew Candace had to be there. Let's see who else they got. Oh! Jason Whitlock. You know Whitlock can't be on there. The Blaze media personality hosted Feelings with Jason Whitlock and has said horribly ignorant and hateful things for years. Whitlock has infamously stated that the worst thing someone can be in our current cultural climate is a heterosexual Christian male. Well, actually the worst thing you can be is a heterosexual black Christian male. I mean, you're isolated from the black community for sure. Called transgender people satanic. Now, I wouldn't go there. I would say that they're being oppressed by a demonic spirit in their minds and proclaims to be hardcore MAGA. So those are the things they're listing against Jason Whitlock and why they say he's making this list. The sports journalist turned right-wing fanatic has also stated that rappers are part of Satan's army. Whitlock is the epitome of using religious beliefs to wrongfully attack others. The black face of white supremacy had to be on this list too. You know he had to be on this list. Larry Elder is desperately pleading his case to receive the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, and like Scott, disrespects black folks as an attempt to get it. Now, what I will say is that sometimes black conservatives do have a tendency to disrespect black people, and they shouldn't do that. I mean, I'm a conservative. I hate using the labels like conservative and even call myself black. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I'm an American. And so just because my skin happens to be darker than others doesn't mean I use my skin to identify how I think and what I say and how I believe. Nevertheless, though, I think the conservative message needs to be packaged in a manner that a lot of black people can receive it. He has pushed a narrative of black homes being fatherless. That's no narrative, that's facts. Is an anti-vaxxer, oh, that's another check against you. And has downplayed police brutality against black people. Let's see who else made this list. You knew Clarence Thomas had to be on this list, man. The disturbingly conservative Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas was infamously accused of man, they got some horrible, horrible reasons for this. Thomas is really the worst. Wow. See who else made this list. They put Kanye not a conservative. Kanye West has declared that white lives matter. Publicly supported Donald. So if you support Donald Trump, you are making this list. And made anti-Semitic statements that have led to the undoing of his career. Wow. The rapper has also stated he loves the way Candace Owens thinks, which is bad according to these black people. and that slavery was a choice. Now, Kanye said some stupid stuff, and that was stupid. West also said he empathizes with white men being victimized because he too has experienced similar treatment. Let's get through this list. I don't know what else they got. I know Ben Carson gonna make it. It's funny. People will criticize Ben Carson, a successful black man, a doctor, very intelligent black man, but he's not gonna be invited to talks about what can be done to improve the conditions of living in the black community because he's a conservative. See who else should be on this list. Oh, they got Sage Steele? Yeah. She's an anti-vaxxer. Okay, so it's like 6 degrees of Candace Owens. If you say you like Candace Owens, you'll make this list. That's what I'm gathering from this list. If you say you like Candace Owens or Trump, you're making this list. Yep. Sage Steele's an avid Trump supporter and said that white people have been the least racist to her. And even though she let UFC fighter Chael Sonnen pull her hair on national television, prove that it was real. Oh, that's a microaggression. She should have known that. Come on, Sage Steele. You don't know that was a microaggression? Where's your blackness? Let's get through this list. Oh, Daniel Cameron. Oh, he didn't step it up for Breonna Taylor. That's why he made this list. Harris Faulkner. What'd she do to make this list? Fox News anchor Harris Faulkner has infamously criticized Black Lives Matter by bringing up cities like Chicago, killings of children, and the need to protest black-on-black crime. Well, we do. Black Lives Matter has done nothing for the communities that they say they're fighting for. Not a thing. Faulkner has also said President Biden hates at least half of Americans and had the gall to say that immigrants make our country look like what they just left. She wants to be taken seriously as a hard news journalist, but really she is just doing the right's dirty work for them. Man, wow. See who else made the list. Eric Johnson. Oh, the mayor of Dallas. Man, they just threw him on here. In a shocking move last month, Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson changed his political party from Democrat to Republican. Oh, he made this list, brother. For 9 years, Johnson served in the Texas legislature as a Democrat before becoming mayor in 2019. Oh, because he's so pro-police, he's on this list. Wow. Wow. Mark Ponder. Who's this? I never heard of Mark Ponder. If anyone has heard of Mark Ponder or knows anything about him, please leave a comment. Oh, he was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in prison. Wow. I pray he's able to get out, man. So as you can see from the root, that is the list of the worst black conservatives ever. Let me know what you think in the comments about this list. Obviously, the rule for making this list is if you don't think black people are victims, if you don't think black people are oppressed, if you side with Clarence Thomas, if you side with Donald Trump, if you side with Candace Owens, you make this list.